Welcome to the freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing.
Oh, hey folks, Dude here. Coming in again, a narration of Dude After Dark. This one, of course, being a correct day. Yesterday I was doing it. Mrs. Dude's like walking by going, what are you doing? It's like, podcast? She's like, wrong day, silly. Thanks, sound guy. Anyway, so we now have the later iteration and updated version of Dude After Dark and about thusly. Anyway, so looking at things as it is, nothing's really changed too terribly. Another day in the life, and news has been kind of just news. I mean, of course the news guys are going on about like, this newest thing is just amazing and you got to know about it every 5 seconds on the 5 seconds, and it gets really blanking annoying. Why? Because they think that you should be inserted upon their reality as opposed to your choice of reality, which is simply just you doing your thing and saying, this stuff is just, or really, I hit the pause button on that one, sound guy. It is not. Whatever that was. Barry Case on the room. Appreciate you hanging out, dude. Hang on a second here. Let me get myself all squared away. Hopefully things are working out justifiably, not too terribly stupidly. And I now have it going, so I'm now looking at the chat room. Okay, so that's always cool. Like I said, Barry K. Sean hanging out, good stuff like that there. Anybody else wants to jump into the chat room, that's fine and good. If you don't want to jump in the chat room, just want to hang out in the ethers, that's perfectly fine as well. I do not charge an entry fee, and there is, of course, free attendance therein. Let's see. Scrolly. Let me get over to the news here. Those of you who don't know, I am still actively looking at better technology than simply rocking things on the spare smartphone, but it still works. I mean, sound quality is well, it could be said it's just okay, it's not just ka sound guy. It is it's less than optimum. It's not Joe Kaka. It's less than optimum. Okay, well, anyway, Joe Kaka. If you guys haven't heard the news, apparently he's been found out to be positive for potentially a very critically nasty ailment. Obviously, you can look up the specs on this. Pretty much any man has obviously a later in life cancer, and it literally takes place in the prostate. Now, what does it actually do? Not a whole hell of a lot. It's just kind of there. So pretty much everybody gets this cancer later in life, and they usually die with this cancer. They usually don't die from this cancer, but they die with this cancer. Now, Joe Kaka, you're giving a premiere there, sound guy. So we're talking about
the name is.
You're previewing it again, sound guy. Anyway, sound guy being sound guy. I don't know if I really want to do this, but I played it yesterday on my, incorrect dating, episode of Dude After Dark. But this one is sound guy snuck into the doctor's office and proceeded to plant a microphone and caught the examination that Joe Biden got from his proctologist.
Ow. Ow.
Ow. Ow. Ow. Ow.
Yeah, let's just say that was, yeah, he found himself in a world of, yeah, it was all inclusive, and Joe Kaka got the full on, full Monty, and, yeah, he got the, examination. Eh, wow. Anyway, so yeah, Joe Kaka got things stuck in the place where Kaka lives. Well, there is obviously a couple of tests that they could do. There's a blood test where they check for an antigen that is in your bloodstream, and it's called a PSA. So I forget what the actual technical stuff is, but basically what it is they look for the reaction of this antigen to say, yes, there is actually an active cancer going on. Doesn't give them the exact variety of cancer. So then what they do is they actually have to, well, yeah, they have to do a biopsy. Translation, they reach in with a needle and proceed to, well, yeah, they pull out a piece of tissue. And hopefully they get the tissue from the right area where the cancer is actually active, and they don't stir it up in such a way that they stick the cancer from one spot and go, ooh, here's a new place to grow. So that's literally one of the issues they say whenever they do a biopsy is sometimes they can trade good cancer for bad cancer. Read like they make cancer spread around and go, oh, here's a new place to go. This is awesome. I like this spot right here. And they proceed to just move their way over and, well...
It's spicy!
Okay, I'm pretty sure the cancer cells aren't marching like little German guys going, wow, it's spicy. I don't think they're doing that, okay?
I've fallen, and I can't...
It's spicy!
Okay, sound guy being sound guy. So anyway, what happens is you propagate the bad stuff to non-invasive areas or non-involved areas, and you literally can make the cancer worse. So sometimes they say that the biopsy is sometimes worse than the imminent, preclusion, conclusion, call it what you will, the imminent issue they're in with having cancer in the first place. And sometimes you can kind of stir it up and make it pop up in places it really, really shouldn't be. Anyway, so you really, truly have to be careful that sound guy.
Fatality.
Okay, he's into the fort catalog. Anyway, so Joe Biden is now testing majorly positive for a really, really nasty version, variety, call it whatever you wish to at this point, of a prostate cancer. Now, the thing about it is I've also posited the notion is this guy, being as president, would have some of the best healthcare on the planet. Why didn't they do this testing earlier and say, you got it, you don't got it, or you really, really, really do got it? That's kind of the part that doesn't really, just doesn't pass the sniff check, okay? Anyway, which we find ourselves, it is now a situation in which Joe is testing positive, and we have to be very, very careful on how we posit the notion for him being a member of the, the cancer crowd. So, like I said, it doesn't pass the sniff check. It really, truly doesn't pass the sniff check. Not in my book.
Ooh, Snortsky!
Sound guy. That's not the kind of sniff check I'm talking about.
Sand, I just snorted a suitcase full of coke, and I'm starting to feel the effects.
Wrong kind of snort. Okay? Wrong snort. I'm pretty sure the doctor wasn't sniffing after he checked out. No, no, you do not get the fanfare. No, no, no. That's wrong. Okay, that's very. No, you do not get the ding. No, no ding, no ding. No, no. Yes, big time, big time. Okay. No. He runs off the rails, folks. Really, truly runs off the rails. Okay, so enough about that. Everybody now knows they're up to speed. I got Tiggy juice. Excuse me 1 second here. Everybody's now up to speed. And they know that Joe Kaka has got something going on that is, well, okay. Sound guy, really? That's kind of dark. The Grim Reaper is knocking on the door. Okay, I think they got the message, sound guy, all right? They're, really, really, I think they got the message. That's kind of not nice, okay?
Sarah Connor.
Yes.
You
Okay, that's no, stop. That's not swish. That's not swish. No, that was not what. I do not think that the Grim Reaper goes up to the door and goes,
Sarah Connor.
Yes.
You asshole.
okay, I do not think that the Terminator does it like that. Okay, well, the Terminator might do it like that, but the Grim Reaper sure doesn't. Wow. That's no, that's not swish. Stop. Jeez.
Sarah Connor.
No, stop. Stop.
Sarah Connor.
Okay, it's going to be different for Joe Kaka, okay? First and foremost, you're talking about the Grim Reaper, not the Terminator.
Sarah Connor.
Yes.
It's that. It's that high-pitched scream in the middle of it, or the end of it, that really just cracks me up about that. Oh, man. That high-pitched. That's the one that sells it for me. Sorry. Okay, stop it. It's not the Schwarzenegger. You're talking about the Grim Reaper, his demise. It's dark, okay? Stop, all right? Stop.
Sarah Connor.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
That's not the way it goes. Oh, man, he's running through the entire Terminator catalog. Okay, we're talking about the dark side of, well, sound guy. That's the only way to say it, man. He turns the Grim Reaper into the Terminator. Oh, wow. Marcina Sasquatch, appreciate you coming on by, dude. Let's see. So going over to the news, now that we finally have had our unbelievably long, stretched out, and completely bonkers interlude here. Wow. I do find it kind of interesting that there is this major pushback from the Democrats in terms of this Qatari 747-8 gift to the United States in lieu of everything we've done for the nation of Qatar. And the thing about it is they're going, well, it's a bribe to Donald Trump and this, that, and the other thing. Donald Trump doesn't need an airplane, okay? Donald Trump already has an airplane. As a matter of fact, let's just do a real quick check here. What kind of plane does Donald Trump own? Donald Trump has a 757-200 nicknamed Trump Force One. Okay, a 757 is not exactly a bitty plane. It's not as big as a 787. It's not as big as a 747. But a 757 is a good-sized jet. I mean, that thing, it's got some legs. I mean, I said is a 747-200, so 757-200. Let's just see what this thing is all about. So going over here to Wikipedia. I usually do that for aircraft. I mean, they're usually pretty square in terms of specs. I mean, you really can't put political mantra on an aircraft. I mean, you could definitely say, wow, it was built by blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. Anyway, so it's a twin jet successor to the Tri-Jet 727. So in other words, they took the jet off the tail or the vertical stabilizer and made it only a twin engine plane. Obviously, engines have improved and I've gotten to the point where literally you only need 2 engines versus 3 engines. The major thing that's cool about a 3-engine plane is if you lose one, especially one of the wing engines, this center-mounted tail engine is straight thrust. And of course, you have differential thrust with the one engine that's dropped out and the one engine that's running. It's going to be kind of steering the plane to the right. You can counter that. You can take that into account. You can correct things. But if you lost the tail engine, it really would not make a whole hell of a lot of difference. The plane would lose some power. It would slow down, obviously. You might have to have a little bit of, a little bit more of a setting the trim a little bit differently so the plane's not dragging as much. Trim is essentially the angle that the plane is flying at. Most people don't know this, but when planes are actually actively flying, they're not flying flat. They're actually flying straight, not, perfectly parallel to the ground. They actually are nose up slightly to keep the plane static in its altitude. If you have it too high, it's going to climb. If you have it too neutral, it's going to drop. You need to have it slightly up so it's maintaining its altitude. Obviously, that's how planes fly. It's like setting your cruise control. You always have that happy medium of a couple of miles per hour where it kind of floats back and forth. All right, so primary users, people still use the 757. It's powered by 2 Rolls-Royce engines, which is what Trump actually specified. The plane came to him with Pratt & Whitney engines, and he said, oh no, I want Rolls-Royce engines. And the reason why he wanted Rolls-Royce is he wanted to have on the nacelles, the engine casings, he wanted to have the Rolls-Royce thing just going, that is a Rolls-Royce motor. It's produced in 2 fuselage lengths, 155 feet, or 178, and being the other one, and it typically seats 243 people. That's not a small jet, okay? Development, design, variants, operators, this, that, and the other thing. Specs. Let's see. He says he's got a 200, so that's like 188 people. I mean, that's not a small plane. Let's see. Max payload's like 60K. Comes off the deck and is heavy. It's 128,000 pounds. Obviously, it can't land like that. You got to dump some gas. Speed cruises at Mach 0.8 or like right around about like 571 miles an hour, maxed out completely. Typically, a cruise is going to be a little bit lower, like 531. The range on it is like max range, and I think it might be a ferry, but they say 4505. That might actually be like a ferry distance. So in other words, completely fueled up like crazy, lightly loaded, going from point A to point B. We've just built the plane. It's now going and it's flying to its first location it's flying out of. Maximum ceiling 42,650. That's pretty standard stuff. Takeoff is in 6,800 feet, 6,900 feet on one of the heavier setups, completely loaded to the gills. The heaviest configuration takes 8,550 feet. That is a long rollout. That's closing in on 747 numbers because that is heavy. Let's see. Basically, it's just a really decent plane. I mean, there's nothing really that crazy about it. And considering it's now a twin jet, you get the added efficiency of only running 2 motors versus 3 motors, and obviously you're going to suck less fuel. Engines have improved. The efficiency on them has gotten better. Obviously, you get more power for less fuel. All the rest of the good stuff like that there. And the NATO name for the MiG-15. Okay. All right. Let's have fun with that one there, Martinez Sasquatch. NATO designation MiG-15. Okay. That's cute, Martina Sasquatch. I'm not taking that one out of the ethers. Let's just say it is the F word that rhymes with maggot. Yeah, NATO wasn't being too nice to the Ruskies on that one. Wow. Okay. Okay, I don't know how that's Terminator sound, guy, but okay.
You asshole. Sarah Connor.
Jeez. Sarah's just on the Terminator's mind, okay? Really. So anyway, I said on a Facebook post, another reason not to listen to the DNC talking points, the lamestream media corporate lies. It was never a gift to Trump. He has his own plane, and he never needed a handout from a prince, a king, or a federal government. So, Trump posted up, I think it was probably Truth Social, may have been on Twitter, but it's Real Donald Trump. So that's probably going to be Twitter, or, formerly Twitter, now known as X. I don't call it X, it's Twitter. The Boeing 747 given to me by the United States, given to the United States Air Force / Department of Defense, not to me. It was a gift from the nation Qatar. We successfully defended it for many years, and will be used as our government as a temporary Air Force One until such time as the new Boeings, which are very late on delivery, arrive. Now, the other problem is essentially the 747 is no longer in production. So the 747-8 is the latest iteration, and I don't think there's any more of them coming. Maybe they'll do a special run for, Air Force One / Air Force One, /A. So there'll be like 2 of those. But anyway, so he said basically that, he got the plane from these guys for intention to be Air Force One, because we don't have a newer Air Force One. The current Air Force One is an older 747 that's like 40 years old. Now, granted, if you maintain a plane, you can fly for a really long ass time. I mean, look at the B-52s. Those things are like 70, almost, some of them are closing in on 80 years old, and they're still actively flying. A lot of air time on them, but if you maintain a plane and you keep up on the airframe and do repairs with its stress cracks, they keep flying, no major problems. So anyway, he says, until such time the new Boeing is very late for delivery arrive. Why should our military, and therefore our taxpayers, be forced to pay hundreds of millions of dollars when they can get it for free from a company that wants to reward us for a job well done? This big savings will be spent instead to make America great again. Only a fool would not accept this gift on behalf of this country, or behalf of our country. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Spoken like an executive. Thank you for your opinion. Please step off. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not. This one is gonna be, I gotta be delicate here, okay? Sound guy, we just have to be.
Sarah Connor.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
That's not delicate, sound guy. That's not delicate at all. Just give me 1 second here. It's got something popping up on my phone. Okay, which I will deal with. My Oscar cat is screaming and carrying on. I don't know what his problem is, but he's doing it. Oski, knock it off. Oh, he's being obnoxious. Anyway, I gotta be maybe just a little bit delicate on this one. Sound guy, don't insert anything that doesn't need to be inserted here, okay? So we're talking about a
XYZPDQOU812.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding-dong.
Okay, so we're talking about a female
XYZPDQOU812.
Okay, a female XYZ PDQ. Don't hit it, sound guy. We got enough of those in there. So we're talking about a female XYZ PDQ OU812 who is actually a female who digs on other females. Not an issue. We really truly don't have a problem with that. Why? Because We all like the same thing, okay? Yeah, we like the OEO, all right? Stop. We all like the OEO. Yeah, exactly, sound guy. Warnings. So anyway, this...
Look at this nasty ass bitch.
I don't know if I would say it like that, sound guy, but this, sound guy. Okay, anyway, so I got the stop button pushed in, okay? So, this XYZ PDQ OU812 female who likes other females is now a Sports Illustrated swimsuit person. Now, I can put it perspectively and explicitly such as this. She ain't all that, okay? And that's being generous. I mean, she's obviously got, like, scads of makeup on, and the dress that they have on her looks like they basically wrapped, like, a plastic trash bag around like a bikini. Now, body-wise, I mean, we're talking really, I mean, they could have obviously photoshopped, like, more curves, made her look better. No. And the thing about it is, the reason why they stuck her on there is because she happens to be XYZ PDQ OU812. And because she obviously likes some...
Look at this.
Stop. She's gonna give me a copyright hit. Anyway, so this XYZ PDQ OU812 female who digs on other... I don't know if, I gotta work up something else because he's just having... Sound guy. I don't know what the girl's doing to the other girl, but
Whoa, commentary. Yeah.
stop! Jeez. God, man. You're really... That was a male, okay? We're talking about... That's who we're talking about, okay? We're not talking about... No. We're talking about a XYZ PDQ OU812 who likes... Yeah, I'm sure she likes OEO and, Jeez. I don't know where he's going with this one, folks, okay? Just, Okay, anyway, so this person is now on Sports Illustrated and their braggadocious claim of she's the best. Frankly, I think she looks more than a little bit like that's Frankenstein. Yeah, she's not looking like Why are you bringing the zombie into it, okay? No. It's... When you see somebody that, like... Okay, when you see somebody like that, you just think...
You've got mail.
Yeah, exactly. You think that exactly, sound guy. That's exactly what you think. You don't think... No, you think...
You've got mail.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. You're thinking...
You've got mail.
Yes, you got mail. Because when it comes right down to it, you're not getting anything out of that one except for a bad case of you can step away. Yeah, you're not going to get anything from that, Bubba. That is just full on not happening at all. Just That's all there is to it. But yeah, Sports Illustrated making a big deal about, oh yeah, we got this OEO XYZ PDQ OU812. Dude, what the heck were you doing to the poor woman? Anyway, so yeah, she's on that cover, and they're proselytizing that it's so cool, it's amazing, she's so brave, so courageous. Wrong guy, okay? That is not what we got here. We got a girl who is
You've got mail.
yeah. Yeah, definitely, that one. It's not how, well, guys normally look at the Sports Illustrated cover and go, ooh. No, it's they look at that and just go,
You've got mail.
yeah. Yes. They look at that and go,
You've got mail.
yeah, you got mail. You got mail. Because it may as well be, because you ain't getting anything from that one. It's just, yeah, it's full on splat. Yeah. So when you look at something like that,
You've got mail.
yeah, you got splat. Scrolly. Everybody's been having a lot of fun with this C-cell on the beach meme thing. Using lots of AI and whatnot. I've only posted one of those, and that's because it's like, one of the other Facebook pages I'm actually subscribed to. But I really stay and shy far away from AI. I mean, I really, truly don't want anything to do with that stuff. Mostly because I don't want to have any interaction with it for it to go later on. Hi, I'm Dude, and this, that, and the other thing, and blah, 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 blah. So then it's like, utilizing my persona, my voice, and all the rest of that fun stuff, trying to imitate or distract from the fact that I am me trying to do my thing versus it going, oh, here's the new and improved Dude, and, I just don't get into that type of stuff. Patriot Fever, not even Sears catalog worthy. No, the chicks that were in the Sears catalog were actually kind of cute. I mean, I remember looking at those things and going, this is this is brain food for okay, yeah, I know, sound guy, it's brain food for later. Okay, I don't think that's what I was thinking about, sound guy. That's really not what I was thinking about. But okay, that's not where I was going, sound guy. No. Well, it's brain food for later, where you basically look at that girl and go, well, I can have a fantasy later on about this girl, and, good stuff like that there. So take that for what it's worth, okay? You could probably use it for your own edification, good stuff like that one, and, obviously... Okay, I never mind. I was going to get into it, but I shall not, to try to keep ourselves PG-13. Take that for what it is. Sears chicks never graduated to Sports Illustrated, though. Okay, well, yeah, because that's usually what happens is with Sports Illustrated, they've been completely magicked up, all kinds of, photographic tweaks and shadowing and, accentuating curves and Photoshop, and they can make a girl that looks to looking completely yeah, they can make a girl that looks not so hot pretty passable. Anyway, so like I said, basically the whole shell thing, the 8647 and all the rest of that fun stuff, I don't think that's going to work out for Comey in the long run. I think, as a matter of fact, it's probably going to blow up in his face with a glorious boom. That should have happened, because anytime that you make some stupid statement like that, You got to live up to your words, and you made stupid words. So, hopefully things work out, and basically the Secret Service pays a visit to him, and he gets to learn the hard way that that's stuff that you just don't do, because they're gonna just go, you know what? You, Mr. Not Joe Kaka. You, Mr. Yeah, you're gonna get a bad case of,
We told you.
We told you. We told you.
We told you.
We told you.
We told you.
We told you.
We told you.
We told you. See, you didn't listen, and we told you.
Yeah, so that'd be a bad case of we told you. We told you, Kaka. Anyway, getting away from the Kaka now. There is, I cannot do this justice. The visual on this thing is enough to be said, let alone that there's just sometimes where you really shouldn't get political. And this person proceeded to do it in such a way that it literally blew up in her face with a glorious boom. Anyway, so what she did was she was wearing a face mask. Take that for what it's worth. Some people I see still wear the face masks, okay? I cannot begin to tell you why they do it, but they still wear the face masks. Okay, sound guy, stop with the boat horn, okay? Stop. So she's wearing this face mask. Thank you, sound guy. So she's wearing this face mask. Then proceeds to make a post. I'm just gonna have to assume this is Instagram or something. The picture's not exactly the sharpest. It looks like somebody obviously did a screen grab and then blew it up. So what she did was she was wearing a face mask, and it says BL with like a raised fist for the A, CK. So Black Lives Matter, with the Lives Matter underneath in smaller font. Obviously, she's a white chick. So she's the white chick wearing something that's just saying, I'm ascribing to this politically mandated way of looking at racial, one having more right to survive than the other. Thank you, sound guy. So anyway, so she says this in her post, quote, "Two young white people." Now, most people don't go, oh yeah, that was a white couple that came into the place. I happen to be white, but it was a white couple that came in to eat at my restaurant. Most people just go, I had a couple people come in, blah, blah, blah. They really don't make notice or, any kind of mention therein of their racial profile. Really doesn't matter in modern society. We don't flip and care, okay? So anyway, two white people come to my restaurant. Come, not came, come. So basically, she's another perpetrator of bad American spoken, written, call it what you will, English. So 2 people come to my restaurant today. Not 2 people came, 2 people come. Received my excellent service with a smile and then left this. Period. Wow. Period. The audacity of some people. SMFH. Bubby, sweetie, honey, how can I tell you were smiling with this mask on in your face? Yeah, so anyway, let me punch the image up a little larger there, and I can tell you how it goes the rest of the way. So anyway, hang on a second, let me blow it up so I can see what I'm doing. The restaurant is absolutely getting slaughtered on Yelp, mind you. So the place is called Fajitas Mexican Restaurant, and they're in a place in Florida that is like not like, oh yeah, that's Miami or that's Tampa or that's, St. Petersburg or that's, Orlando or, Palm Springs or Palm Beach or, Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, it's not like some name that just rolls right off your tongue, okay? And order in the main dining room. Ordered one item, $11.50, whatever it was. Ordered another item, 7 something or other. Ordered another item, 9 something or other. The total came out to $23.39 with $164 local taxes. So a total of $25.03. My Marine Corps, drill instructor would be killing me on that one. So anyway, grand total was $25.03. So on the tip, they put on there, all lives matter. Total $25.03. and then signed it. Now, the thing about it is she was in their face saying, I'm going to racially profile and I'm going to make it known that this is my stance politically. If you're a server and you affront somebody doing that, they have absolutely no reason whatsoever to throw you a dime whatsoever, even if your service was exemplary, because you've insulted them just by wearing something they found offensive. While you don't find it offensive, that's perfectly fine and good, but you know what? When you do things like that and you offend somebody else, they're going to call you on it because you are committing
Woke commentary.
Yeah, you're committing woke commentary, and they are not going to like it. So, you basically wrote yourself out of getting any money at all. Okay, I stopped the boat horn. So, anyway, she wrote herself out of getting potentially, a tip, but it's a $25 ticket. How much do you expect to get? Okay, 15% of $25 is what? $5.50, $6.50, something like that. I mean, it's not like a whole hell of a lot of cash, but you still pissed off the person to the point where they said, you know what, I don't want anything to do with this. So 2503 times 0.15 equals 375.45. So 376. I was being generous by saying 5. That would have been like 25% or something like that. But still, you would have gotten a $4 tip at best. All right? You still pissed the people off, and they said, you know what? I'm not dealing with you. Yeah, like Patriot Fever says, play woke games, get woke tips. She expected to split it equally with the house. Yeah, I don't know about that one, man. It doesn't look like that kind of place. And it seems like there is either one or the other about this restaurant. Either everybody's like, oh, the food's great, blah, 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 blah. The other one is like, the service is absolutely horrendous. It's like they ignore you. You keep screaming and carrying on, trying to get any kind of service. I think it's probably a place with really decent food that has sucky servers, okay? That's how that one works. Scrolly. I got a lot of memes up I got to cruise past. I don't know who was the guy that basically was driving the bus, but they did not have a tugboat sponsoring this sailboat trying to go underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. Slight problem. It was already too tall to fit under the Brooklyn Bridge. Why was it even in the vicinity of the Brooklyn Bridge? So, who is the, I got this one, sound guy. Who was the idiot who didn't think to get the mast height before attempting to cross under a fixed bridge? Oh, never mind. New York and Mexico. Usual gang of libtarded morons. So I think they're still doing rescue operations. There was obviously a couple deaths, a lot of injuries. They said first it was 200 people on board. Then they said it was 300 people on board. A bunch of guys were standing on the masts when the mast actually struck the bridge. That, to me, just says right off the bat, you guys, just typical New York execution of just rampant bad execution. Wow. Just wow. Scrolly. Couple of Joe Caca things, more Joe Caca things. I did actually post up one notice, like where you basically like post on your text and just make it like one big block. Excuse me. And I said essentially this: I just had an evil thought. They never gave Biden any cancer treatments because he'd look sick and fragile. And then, of course, the ... would be while receiving chemotherapy and or radiation treatment for his cancer. That's kind of blatantly obvious that, if they had been treating him, he'd look pretty rough. And he wouldn't be like, even more there. Wow. That's saying it all right there. They are going to be noticing this one big time coming down the pike in terms of flip over year for fiscal year in Disney Corporation. The park's making scads of cash mostly because they overcharge the crap out of people. But the thing about it is the Disney / Marvel exercise is kind of really starting to get an owie. So, from the top to the bottom, Disney made big Marvel bucks. Now Disney's killing Marvel by making and not seeing the fact that they're making too many movies and they need to stop making all of these movies in the Marvel genre. They're kind of stretching it way too far. I mean, when you get right down to it, just a simple search here real fast. How many movies are in the Marvel universe? 36 movies, which includes the upcoming Thunderbolts, which is now out. So the thing about it is Thunderbolts cost $180 million production budget. Now, it needed an easy additional $100 million for publicity. This one's coming out of Breitbart.com. So Thunderbolts would have to make and gross at least 550 million worldwide just to break even. And that's unlikely to even hit $400 million. After 17 days of release, 3 full weekends, Marvel's latest dud sits at 155 million domestic and 325,000.7 million global. Compare that to the 3 previous Marvel movies widely regarded as flops. After 17 days, Captain America Brave New World sat at 163.5 million, then went on to make 200.4 million domestic and $415 million globally. They hyped the crap out of that movie. Oh, he's fighting the Red Hulk. Oh, yeah, Red Hulk. Ooh. After 17 days, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, horrible title, sat at 187.6 million domestic, eventually grossed 214.5 million domestic and $476 million global loss. After 17 days, The Eternals, also known as the Girl movie, earned $136 million domestic and went on to gross $165 million domestic and $400 million global. So each of these movies has lost in excess of $100 million or more. Wow. Now, the thing about it is Mrs. Dude got Disney Plus, so I'm just going to wait for these things to hit Disney Plus, and I might wait a while, then I might see them, or I might not. It depends on which way I'm thinking, but you know what? Right now, Disney ain't doing it. It's just not even pretty. Not even pretty. So, wait, we looking at this one. It is just not happening for them. Yeah, it's just really, yeah, flash in the pan, poop squirt, call it what you will. Yeah, just ain't happening. Yeah, it's dead, Jim. It's dead. Let's see. Scrolly. Scrolly. Hang on a second here. Let's see. Where was I looking for?
He's dead, Jeff.
Yeah, okay, thanks, sound guy.
And thing sucks.
Okay, thank you, sound guy. It never fails to put the commentary in where we really sometimes oh, stop. Oh. Okay, he says it's screwed. Thanks, sound guy. This I find unbelievably, epically, absolutely, spectacularly, I don't know, more, verbal, just blowing it up so I can find, but this is absolutely hilarious. Supposedly, the Democrats are now demanding that President Trump and the Department of Justice shut down all investigations, including the probe into auto pen pardons against Joe Biden, his family, and his administration after it was revealed that Biden has cancer. No. That's no. No, you don't get a do-over because somebody goes, ow, I broke a nail. No, you don't get a do-over in the kind of stuff that the Biden administration did January 6th, weaponizing the Department of Defense, all kinds of diminutively, horrifically, obnoxiously disgusting things they did to the former president, now the current president, anybody who was associated with him, anybody that represented him, anybody that had any kind of business dealings with him. No, you don't get a slide on that one. Sorry, no, not happening. Excuse me. Martina Sasquatch, and they killed TOGO. What is TOGO? Hang on a second. Here, let me take a look at something else here. Togo. What? Okay, Martina Sasquatch. Break it down for me, dude. What is Togo? TOGO. And well, Disney's still going to make scads of cash. I mean, they make obscene money on the park. They make obscene money on the cruise ships. Okay. I can tell you for a fact, the most expensive cruise I've ever taken for like 3 people was probably somewhere in the order of fare. Just, getting on the boat, just a fare was $800 per person. Now, of course, there's dock fees and all the rest of that fun stuff and everything like that. Anytime you look at, say, like Royal Caribbean, let's just, quick breakdown here. Royal Caribbean, let's just say they're $1,200. The thing about it is, I don't know anything about that, Martina Sasquatch. So let's just say the Royal Caribbean cruise currently, let's say it's $1,200 per person. Okay, 7-day cruise, Sunday to Sunday. Okay, you're gonna leave out of Florida. You're gonna go bing bang boom, hit their island. Say you're gonna go to 1 or 2 islands and then go back to Florida. 7 days. Okay. So like 2 sea days, a couple bouncing around days, bing, bang, boom, done. The Disney cruise is probably somewhere in the order of $1,800 to $1,900 per person. And the thing about it is obviously you're going to pay on the boat to be on the boat. Then you're going to pay to get off the boat to be on their island and buy the stock, the tchotchkes and everything on their island. You're going to be paying for all that stuff. Then you're going to be paying even more for all the other, folderol and what have you. Because once you get on the cruise ship, it's literally like being in their park. The technology that they have on a Disney cruise ship is sick. I mean, they have all kinds of interactive stuff, all kinds of, kid-friendly things, all kinds of, almost like amusement park style stuff on the cruise ships. The upper 3 decks, I think, are adults only. But beyond that, the rest of it is like completely kid-crazy areas, and it is over the top. But you pay 30 to 40% more than anybody else's cruises just to be on a boat that says Disney. Child's plague that hit Alaska in the early 1900s. Okay, I don't know that one, dude. That's new on me. Togo. Patriot Fever. Yeah, I think DeSantis did remove their tax-exempt status because, literally they were trying to say, well, our town is our town. You can't stop us from having our town. Well, no, guys, you're still part of the state. You're not like, like a corporate thing. Patriot Fever knows what you're talking about. Okay, well, anyway, let me do a real quick search here. I don't know of which you spake. True story, winner 25, champion dog sled trainer, Lionheart Sapala, led sled dog Togo together embark on an adventure. And 2019, so I guess they did make it. Let's see. Well, why was Togo removed from Disney? Oh, it was removed from the streaming service. As part of a broader contract purge by Disney aimed at cost-cutting and streamlining the content library, the decision was likely due to the movie's underperformance and the perception it was not worth the cost of keeping it on the platform, according to Yahoo. Where can I watch a copy of the Disney movie Togo? Disney Plus? No. Stream Togo officially on Disney Hotstar Indonesia. Okay. All right. Well, whatever. Did they have to, why did they euthanize Togo after several years of retirement at the Ricker Kennel in Poland Spring? Togo was euthanized by Sapala on December 5, 2029 at 16 years of age because of joint pain and partial blindness. All right, well, in 16 years, that's pretty good dog life for not a small dog. So, yeah, heroic animal, I guess. Let's see. Scroll. I never heard that story, so that was completely new on me. I kind of know collaterally some of the Disney stuff, but that's new to me. So anyway, like talking about this whole thing I was talking about earlier, like reading that whole post, there's something else too. Cancer diagnosis does not excuse criminal behavior and actions while serving in office. Oh man, scrolly. This one I'm gonna have to be a little bit less snarky about, but all right. Anyway, so in 2022, a small New Hampshire library hosted an event called Ask a Transgender Woman Anything. Today, the same person, Raya Jasmine, R-A-Y-A, is being charged with murdering their wife, leaving a young child without parents. Yipes. Yipes. So anyway, the place is called the Plasto Public Library, posted up on May 31, 2022. As we celebrate Pride Month in June, let's take this opportunity to have an open conversation about the XYZ PDQ OU812 movement. Join us tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. as we ask a transgender woman anything. Register here, and there's a tiny URL link. I got a few questions. I mean, you know, I'm curious enough. I would probably ask these questions, but I would probably have to state them as such. Ever accidentally sit down on your balls? It must be a problem. How do you hide that morning boner under your dress? That's got to be an issue too. When sitting down to pee, are you actually holding on to Prince Albert? Do you hold Prince Albert when you're sitting down to pee? Wow. I don't know, man. I know for a fact I wouldn't have been in there for very long. They would have said, "Oh no, you get out of here, you out, get out." Yeah, I don't think I would have lasted.
Thing sucks.
Get out of here, you. Oh, I think I would have been tossed. Oh man. So let's see. How would that have gone? Today's episode of Cops. We have a straight man asking a transgender woman inappropriate questions at a library gathering. Watch today as he's taken into custody. Okay, enough of that. But I think that's probably how it would have gone. I would have just been, hey, let me ask you this and this, that, and the other thing, and hey, ho, I'm here all week. Get that guy out of here. I don't think it would have worked. Would have been interesting, but, you know, also, let's see, during 2022, that also would have been during the episode of Joe Kaka and, I would have been sincerely deeply into the
No-no zone.
oh, you know it. Absolutely into the no-no zone.
No-no zone.
Absolutely into the no-no zone. I would have just been, yeah, it's just right into the back of the cop car. Not even a moment's notice. It just would. They looked at me 1 second and said,
No-no zone.
and I would have been out the door with great alacrity. Let's see. Scrolly. This is kind of a meme, but I think it's kind of interesting. But somebody posts this one up. Largest official army, Communist China, 2.5 million. Largest unofficial army, American gun owners, 100 plus million. Kind of like that whole thing. Like, I fear that there would be an American rifleman behind every blade of grass. Oh man, I don't know if we're quite to the same level that we were back in guys coming out of the Depression, but still, I'm thinking that there's a bunch of hardcore, all hunting style redneck types that'd be like,
No, 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 hell no, 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 I refuse, no. That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
yeah, those guys would have been just like,
I say we take off and nuke the entire bitch from orbit.
okay, anyway, sound guy's having fun. Yeah, I don't think that would have flown so good, and that's the reason why the American homeland is never, ever, ever gonna have somebody just sliding in there and just sliding in there and doing that. Sound guy, I don't know where you're going with that one. That is just,
No-no zone.
yeah, that's definitely no zone. Okay. Okay, anyway, I don't know where he's going, folks. Sometimes he just gets off the rails. Anyway, let's see. Anything else jumping out at me in terms of news stuff? Obviously, I did actually have the unusual interlude yesterday. I don't know where that came from. I was just like firing things up, and Mrs. Dude is looking at me like, "What are you doing?" So yeah, that's me being me when I have 2 gigs on a weekend. Sometimes it really, really just hoses me. I guess completely to get turned around. Oh, music. All right. Appreciate your kind attention, you guys, hanging out with me today. You got many other things to do on a Tuesday, but decided to hang out with me. You get a gold star for attendance. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Good stuff like that there. I will see you guys next week unless I put out something again sooner. Anything's possible. All right, so I'm going to break up with this one, folks. Eat good, keep pretending as always. You know what, you love it. I will catch you guys next time. See you then. Catch you guys later and have a good week. See ya. Curtis!